What's up, guys? BSJ bringing you another Grand Cross video. Now this is probably going to be my last video, going over DIANE. I think she's a really good unit. I just personally, I'm not finding her to be like super fun to use, if that's the right word to use. She's good. She's definitely good. It's funny too, because shout outs to Amazing, but Amazing was watching one of my videos I made on her, and he called me a DIANE hater. I don't hate DIANE, right? I can't hate DIANE. I literally can't hate DIANE because she has them dangs on her. Look at them, like, it's just, let's watch, right? She got them things. Look at, I can't hate DIANE for that, but she is very good, right? She is very good. The only thing about her is that she's very weird. I feel like they just built her in a way where you really do have to build a team around her because she doesn't do too much on her own. It's like they wanted her to be a tank, but they also wanted her to take damage, like 500,000, like basically 500,000 damage. No, like that's insane. Like that's actually crazy. If this were like maybe 200,000 damage, it's like, okay, fine, that's cool, but 500,000 damage taken, like that's crazy. Like that is actually insane. And honestly, the trade-off for it is kind of, I mean, is it worth it? Maybe, but 500,000 damage, like that's crazy. Like that is actually crazy. But again, it's like they wanted her to be a tank. She has, this last part of her passive, which decreases damage taken by 40% for all allies whenever she uses her stance, right? But it's like, how can she take damage if she's a tank? It just makes no sense. It's like her passive is counteracting her own passive. It's so weird. I actually think this card right here is good for her. I don't have a problem with this. This is actually pretty good. The fact that she has what Gother has, this pulverized card, this is fine. It's actually not that bad, but it just becomes a really big thing when she's trying to tank damage and then she can't do it well, right? It's not like she's the best tank in the game either, because she's definitely not. Like, she still takes damage, surprisingly. She actually still takes damage even with her stance up. Now, if you get like a level 3 taunt, because her HP related stats go up by 30%, which means her regen goes up to over 100% when you get that active, which, she's passively healing a lot of HP. So even if she takes damage with Tarmia Link, she's actually healing a little bit, right? She's actually healing up a lot, not a little bit, a lot. But you rarely will see this unless you're using her with Gother. You're rarely gonna see a rank 3 taunt. You're not gonna see it often. You will see a rank 2 here and there, but rank 3 is like, without using Gother, is really rare. So it just sucks that, the way she's made, it's like counterintuitive, right? It's just like, yeah, she can tank, right? Like, she can tank, but she can at the same time. Especially when she doesn't have her taunt up, she's not a tank at all. Like, she's actually not a tank, but she does have really good stats, right? She has really strong stats, I would say. And maybe that's the reason, she's not as crazy as she could have been. Because if she had like let's say she had a really good attack skill, not to say this is bad, but it's obviously not as good as other skills. Let's say if this was a single target, I don't know, power strike skill, like, then that'd be crazy, because her attack would be based around resistance as well. She has pretty good resistance, and other characters in the game as well. Like, her stats are fair. Like, her stats are actually, I think she has one of the best stats, like stat sets in the game. If you want my honest opinion, I think she does. It's just she can't build up her stats like Darkness Melee. Darkness Melee builds up his stats, right? All stats build up on top of that. So he's looking like really strong when you're max build, but she doesn't have that. So this is what she's stuck with, basically. Besides her HP related stats, the rest is she's stuck with, unless you're buffing buffing her with like Gother for attack related stats, you're buffing her with a literal support unit, she's stuck at that. Like, she can't build up. I mean, again, that's just her, or that's just her kit. But again, like, she can deal damage, because you got to remember, like, when she takes damage from an enemy, she increases her damage dealt by 10% up to 50, which is it's good. She only has to get hit 5 times for it to go up to max, so it definitely can be useful. Again, I just think that this part of her passive is so weird, like, just something like they just feel like they just threw it in there, right? Feel like they just kind of threw it in there. Now, if this was increases her defense related stats, then it'd be another story, right? So let's say if it was like same thing, she takes up to 500,000 damage taken by skills and skill effects, but then it increases her defense related stats by, I don't know, 20% at max, right? Or something like that. Like, if she were building up defense, maybe even HP on top of her stance too, like if she were building up HP related stats on top of her stance, like, she would be insane. Like, she would actually really be insane. But since it's just damage, it's like, yeah, her ult's gonna hit very, very strong, but this single target, you gotta build up. Like, she is a build up unit, right? You gotta build up your ultimate move gauge orbs. You have to build up her passive by taking damage. You have to build up her passive by, again, taking damage for that second part of her passive to proc. It's really just weird the way they designed the unit. Like, if we go ahead and we go into the preview, like, you'll see what I mean. Like, she can look really good or she can look really bad. It's like there's no in between for this unit. It's like there's no in between at all. And the units that you use with her best support is probably like Kyo or something like that, or not Kyo, but King, right? You can use Kyo as a third unit, but King is, like, honestly probably her best unit, like, support unit, because King gives her a shield. He increases the damage that she can deal, right? King is probably her best. Like, if we're being real, she doesn't have a set support unit. Let's see. Let's go here to the, like, her stat set is HP and defense for sure. Like, she doesn't have whatchamacallit, like, a really set team besides King next to her. She doesn't have a really set team, and that's one of the things that's bad about DIANE, I would say. Like, you know, she doesn't have a real good synergy with many units. You would think Darkness Melee worked well with her, but he actually doesn't for some reason. Like, I've been watching videos with him, and I think I used him once, but I didn't like it. It's just, it doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work. You want to use Darkness Melee with, like, people who can make his attack go crazy. She doesn't do that. She's kind of selfish in the way that she wants to build up her stuff, right? She just wants to build her stuff up. Like, yeah, she can take punishment for the rest of the team, sure, but, like, she's not doing anything else. Like, she's literally not doing anything else for anyone, and that's what hurts Darkness Melee when using him with her. Yes, she does have a single target skill which can buff his proc his passive, but the thing that hurts him again is that she's not helping his damage output, and that can really set him back, because you look at the damage that he's doing next to Kyo, next to Gother, right? You're looking at the damage that he's doing, and it's really good damage, next to the one, because the one is helping him with the single target skills he has, right? You're looking at the damage that Darkness Melee deals, and it's crazy. But then you use her, and it's like, yeah, she has a taunt, sure, but it's not like that's really helping Darkness Melee besides her taking damage. And the fact that, again, she's not doing anything else besides taking damage and not really being that great of a tank, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, is bad. You could run Green Gil in the back, sure, you could do that. Like, you could maybe run a bond team with her, potentially, something like that, but I don't know. It's just weird. She's a very weird unit, for sure. And I do feel like if they don't release units that have good synergy with her, she will die off pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't see her being too crazy within the meta. Again, unless they drop a crazy unit that has good synergy with her. I'm not seeing it. I mean, we could get a draw. We could definitely get a draw, right? Who could be really good for her. We could get, you know, the giants from Ragnarok. We could potentially get dubs from the movie, The Giant Craftsman. We could get that. We could get maybe another somewhat of a support for her. But I don't know. Her ult as well. The thing that sucks about her ult, it's very, very reliant on that 6 out of 6, which I don't like. I actually don't like that. Not to say because I really feel like the damage is scaled so weird on this ult too, right? Because yeah, you need the stance to be procced for sure. You definitely need the stance to be procced, because I think actually on all ranks she gives 3 stance effects. So on all ranks I think she gives 3 stance effects, which is good, right? But here's the thing, you see, I'm at 3 out of 6, so I got plus 15%. I think at 1 out of 6, what is it? 1 out of 6? Is it 3? Is it 3 at 1 out of 6? It's 5. Okay, it's 5% at 1 out of 6, which it's not that good, because you're only getting a 15% boost to the damage that you're dealing, which again, if she's taken damage, like if she's taken a lot of damage and she took massive amounts and then you launch the ult, even at 1 out of 6 it can be helpful. Not gonna say it's gonna kill for sure, but it can definitely be helpful. But I would say actually starting at 3 out of 6 you will start seeing a really big difference. You will. The thing that sucks the most is this heal. This heal is so reliant on the 6 out of 6. It's disgusting. Like, it's actually pretty like disgusting because of the fact that it relies on the 6 out of 6 so much. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because of the fact that DIANE can be used as multiple things, right? But again, that 6 out of 6, you're gonna be wanting that. Yeah, you're gonna be wanting that because she's gonna heal a lot. She's gonna do massive damage, so you're gonna see it. Once she's 6 out of 6, you will see that difference. I'm telling you right now. You may not believe me, and that's fine, but that 6 out of 6 is definitely gonna be your best friend for sure once you get it with this unit. And I think that's one of the major things that sets her back too, because if you're a free-to-play player, you're not pulling what, essentially 5 extra copies of this unit. You're just not. That's not what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is you're gonna pull this unit one time and then that's it. You're gonna maybe summon her on other banners in the future, but at that point, who's to say she won't just be completely irrelevant? You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the things that sets her back. The heal multiplier at 6 out of 6 becomes 30%. Do you see how massive of a jump that is? 8% from 3 out of 6 to 30% heal is like insane. Like, it's actually insane, man. Like, it's crazy. But again, the damage number that you'll see will start looking really solid on 3 out of 6, especially if she's taking damage. But again, 6 out of 6, you're good. You're golden. She's gonna kill. She's just straight up gonna kill. So again, I'm not the biggest fan of this quell mechanic either. It's nice in theory, but if you don't have a stance card and you need to use the ult to win or something like that, you are actually just like, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do, right? You lost. Bye-bye. You lost. Good GG's or something like that, right? Maybe she can still do damage at 6 out of 6, but like for someone like Sariel, it's done. You're done. You're not doing damage. If you don't have a stance, you're not doing damage. You're just not doing damage with her, or with the unit like Sariel. But with DIANE, you possibly could. I don't know. But again, like if I had to say if she's worth, like, you know, going for, I'm gonna be honest, no. I'm gonna be straight, no. I just think you could save up for something better. I really could. Like, you don't see many people like, oh my god, DIANE's absolutely needed for the big bird or the antler demon. Oh my god, you need it for PvP. No, you don't. you don't. Like, you pulled Darkness Melee, you're good. You pulled Festival King, you're good. you don't pull DIANE and be like, oh my god, I basically won the entire game, that's it. No, you're straight if you don't have this unit. I mean, again, not to say she's a bad unit, because I think DIANE, this is definitely, like, she's obviously the best DIANE in the game, right? No doubt about that. But in terms of Fez units, I don't know where I would put DIANE, man. I like, the more I use her, the more I'm just like, I don't know, man. Even Bond might be better than this unit, because at least Bond, you know what you're doing with Bond, right? At least you know what you're doing with him. DIANE is just up in the air. It's like she could be a tank. She don't tank that well. Like she could potentially be a DPS. She's really relying on the 6 out of 6. Like so much stuff going on with this unit, man. And again, not to say that she's a bad unit, because I know someone out there is gonna be like, oh my god, BSG said she's a bad unit. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she's weird. She's a weird unit. The way they designed her, right, is weird. But overall, very good unit. If I had to give her a rating, I probably would give her maybe like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm leaning more towards a 7, simply because of the fact that the massive increase in healing is so crazy. Oh, also the damage multiplier as well. I forgot to mention that. The damage multiplier, I believe, no, damage multiplier stays the same. The damage multiplier stays the same, but the heal is so big, man. It's so big. I mean, the attack number is obviously going to change, but that's with every ult. So I really can't say much about that, but I don't know. I feel like she's just held back a lot by her ult as well. But again, her stats are nice. Like her overall stats are really, really nice. And again, I think she has one of the best like base stats, overall stats in the game. Like she's really good with in terms of that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's it, man. Let me know what you guys think of the unit. It's been what, over a week since she came out on Global, over 2 weeks since she came out on JP. Really curious to hear your thoughts on her. Let me know if you're using her. Let me know if you pulled her. But yeah, Festival DIANE, definitely a very good unit. If you pulled her, nice pull. If you don't want to summon for her, you know, you don't need her for pretty much anything, to be honest with you. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video, and that's gonna be it. I'll see you later.